Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today's Thursday. Before we start anything, I want to ask you to please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up on this video, and share this content with your friends, okay? Because tonight we're gonna have my webinar, and it's gonna be 7 to 8, not 5 to 6, 7 to 8, because it's Thursday, so it's a different time. 7 to 8 p.m. on Australian time. So make sure to register for tonight because we're gonna have some nice events happening today and tomorrow, Friday, to end up the week. But before, stay with me until the end. That I will tell you what I'm thinking about the pound. We did have a big move up on the pound yesterday because of the CPI that came higher. And remember what I've told you yesterday on yesterday's video. If you haven't watched it yet, go there into the ACY channel just here and watch that video first before watching this one. I've mentioned that, look, yesterday we got the UK CPI. The year over year was previous 3.2 and the consensus was 2.1, and then it came in the actual at 2.3%. I told you, I literally told you, because look, getting from 3.2 to 2.1, this is a huge move. It's 1.1% in 1 year. This is not what they're doing, okay? And then it came higher. So I thought it could be a potential uptick if it could come higher, and it did, all right? And then today, we're gonna have bunch of PMIs, all right, from Eurozone, German, Eurozone, and UK. So let's have a look on that. We're going to start with the French manufacturing PMI and services PMI at 5:15 p.m. in Australia time. Expected to be 45.8 for the manufacturing and 51.8 for the services. Right after at 5:30, we're going to have German manufacturing PMI. The consensus is 43.4 and the services PMI 53.5. Okay, and then services PMI and manufacturing PMI for Eurozone, so basically the whole Eurozone. This is monthly, okay guys, this is all monthly. Services PMI would be 53.6, that's the consensus, and manufacturing PMI, the consensus is 46.2. All right, now, what do I think about this? This is actually with comparison to the previous one. So let's say the services PMI here from Europe, previous is 53.3 and the consensus is 53.6. So they are not expecting much services. But the manufacturing PMI, they are expecting a big uptick from 45.7 to 46.2. So very close to a 1.0 uptick. But to be honest, I'm not too sure here on the services and manufacturing for Eurozone, either for German as well. One thing that I can tweak those numbers to see is that we're going to have the composite PMI, the services PMI for UK at 6:30, so 30 minutes before the webinar starts, and is expected to decrease a lot, all right? So the previous is 44.1, the consensus is 44 for the composite PMI, and the services PMI is terrifically horrible. Previous is 55 and the consensus is 54.7. Now, when we have this sort of data here in front of us, we can't forget about something. The market right now, as we could see yesterday, it's basically much more focused on the CPI, on the inflation data for the consumer than anything else. If we have a services PMI higher than 54.7, that means that there is a probability of inflation go and uptick higher and higher, and that could occasionate on a stronger UK, on a stronger GBP, on a stronger pound, okay? Now, if we have a lower services PMI and lower composite PMI from what the consensus is expecting, most probably we will have this GBPUSD move all the way up that we just saw yesterday, reverting to the downside, because then the market will think, okay, the inflation is actually coming down, people are not spending money on services, people are not buying the manufacturing goods, and so we may expect a decline on the currency as well. This is what investors may be looking for. And then the most important thing is tomorrow we're going to have at 4 p.m. From UK, we're going to have retail sales, core retail sales, month-over-month and year-over-year, and German GDP. These ones will close the week with very, very strong moves. I can certainly expect that on yesterday, okay, on tomorrow. So retail sales year-over-year, there's no consensus yet. So does the core retail sales month-over-month. The only one that we can have a consensus here is the retail sales month-over-month expected to be negative 0.6%, coming from 0%. So this is the thing. If the services PMI come lower today, there is a high probability of the retail sales tomorrow for the UK come lower as well, on the range of negative, because the previous was 0, okay? And then now the consensus is expected to be negative 0.6%. And German GDP after that at 4 p.m. as well tomorrow, expecting to be quarter-over-quarter 0.2% from the previous of negative 0.3%, and the year-over-year is expected to be exactly the same. Alright guys, this is all I have to tell you today, and please don't forget to register for the webinar today from 7 to 8 p.m. just at the description of the video. Give us a thumbs up on this video, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I see you tonight, or I see you in the next video. Bye bye.